Hello fellas. Welcome back to Top 5 Choices. This is Haley from Top 5 Choices, and I hope you all are doing good. In today's video, I am going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best budget Chromebooks, 2022. After doing proper researches, we came to the conclusion that meets the best in terms of overall. Kindly leave a like if you find this helpful, and I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications if you haven't. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use it for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. We'll be back with more videos. The biggest shortcomings of the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet Chromebook come in its design. The magnetized kickstand cover and keyboard felt firmly secured to the tablet as we tested it, but we still found ourselves pulling the keyboard free without meaning to or pushing the entire back cover off while trying to extend the kickstand. These aren't earth-shattering failures, and fixing it is as simple as slapping the cover or keyboard back on, but it happened often enough that we can see some people getting frustrated with it. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet Chromebook will be a deal-breaker for some people: the restrictive size of its keyboard and, to a lesser extent, the responsiveness of the trackpad. By laptop trackpads' already low standards, the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet Chromebooks can be sluggish and even lifeless at times. As for the keyboard, the keys are packed in very tight. Given the limited real estate it is working with, the keyboard and trackpad also don't have the same degree of tactile feedback that a lot of other laptops have. That means that touch sensing your way as you type can leave you all over the place for a while as you acclimate yourself to the key spacing. Meanwhile, tapping an unresponsive trackpad will quickly become frustrating for some people since there's no feedback to tell if a click is even physically registering. The vast majority of the time, the trackpad responds just fine, but when it doesn't, we have no real sense as to why. A much bigger issue is accessibility. For those with lower manual dexterity, such as those with a physical disability, or even just older folks who are not as nimble as they used to be, these problems aren't just amplified. In some instances, it would be all but impossible to ever overcome them. It's the kind of design flaw that just can't be overlooked anymore. Accessibility has been a major blind spot in tech for a while now, but it's something that we know how to fix. The industry is even making significant strides to address this long-standing problem, just not with the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet Chromebook, which is a real shame. The Lenovo Chromebook Flex 5 is a very well-built Chrome OS convertible with a 360-degree hinge. It's very lightweight and compact, so you can easily bring it around to do work on the go. The keyboard feels good to type on, with a good amount of travel, and it doesn't cause fatigue. Its 1080p screen displays crisp images and text, but sadly, it doesn't get bright enough to overcome reflections and looks washed out due to its narrow color gamut. Unfortunately, its speakers get loud but don't sound very good, the webcam loses out on fine details, and the microphone is staticky and records hollow-sounding speech. The port selection is subpar, with no option to output to an external monitor, while the battery doesn't last long enough to get through a full workday. It's only available with power-efficient Intel CPUs, which perform fine for light productivity tasks and video playback, but stutter if you have lots of browser tabs open. Neither CPU option is suited for heavy workloads like physics simulations and 3D renders. The Lenovo Chromebook Flex 5 is a mediocre business laptop. Its battery doesn't last a full workday, so you need to bring along its USB-C power adapter. Its port selection is subpar, with no support for video output, and you'll likely need to use a dongle or USB hub for multiple wired peripherals. Also, the webcam and microphone are only okay, meaning you won't look or sound your best during business meetings. On the bright side, it's easy to bring around in a small laptop bag since it's lightweight and compact, and its build quality is great. The keyboard feels good to type on and doesn't cause fatigue over long periods. Although the Intel Celeron variants are fine for light productivity tasks, you'll get a smoother experience with the Core i3 models if you need to multitask often. The Lenovo Chromebook Flex 513 has a simple, sleek-looking design that doesn't stand out in an office setting. It's available in one color scheme, called Graphite Gray, with an entirely dark gray plastic construction. There are speaker grills on either side of the keyboard and exhausts on the bottom and the back. The Lenovo Chromebook Flex 5 feels very well built. Although it's made entirely of plastic, there isn't any flex in the chassis when the laptop is closed, and only a little bit of give on the keyboard deck and screen when open. You can very slightly scratch the keyboard deck with your fingernails, but the scratches are only visible when viewed at an angle. The Samsung Galaxy Chromebook 2 is a boxy machine. It's not as thin nor as sleek or lightweight as the original Galaxy Chromebook, but it still has its charms. The super bright red color option, for instance, is available to the new machine, as is the high-end look thanks to the aluminum lid and striking sharp side edges. I like the bevel that's been cut into the top edge of the Chromebook. It's thin and subtle, but still catches the light from time to time. Samsung's logo is etched deep into the metal, so it stands out properly. The gray model is classy looking, too, though it lacks the visual wow factor of the red one. Beyond the aesthetics, the Chromebook 2 is a spinning convertible. It acts in laptop mode, as well as tablet, tent, and presentation modes. Two metal hinges connect the top and bottom halves of the device and are strong enough to hold the Chromebook at whatever angle you set. I had total faith in the hinges, which were fluid and easy to manipulate, yet exacting and firm. There's no included stylus with the Chromebook 2, as was with the original device. The screen supports an active digitizer if you care to supply your own. The Chromebook 2 is fairly compact thanks to the 13-inch screen size. It measures 305 by 203 by 15 mm, 12 by 8 by 0.59 inches, and weighs in at 1.23 kilograms, 2.71 pounds. I wish it weighed just a little less, but the dimensions are nice. Shame about the pointy corners, which can poke you in the back if your backpack lacks padding. The Google Pixelbook Go is designed to be thin and light, measuring just 0.5 inches thick and weighing 2.3 pounds. The laptop comes in just two colors, just black and not pink, otherwise known as black and pink. We would appreciate something in between these two, such as a white or straight anodized magnesium option, but alas. As we mentioned, this laptop's frame is made from a magnesium alloy painted in a matte texture that, paired with the rippled base, is veritably easier to grip and hold while moving between meetings or workspaces, as Google promises. We find this frame to be very resistant to pressure and flex, which is rare in Chromebooks. And, boy, does Google make use of every last inch of that frame. The Pixelbook Go not only sports a keyboard with comfortably spaced keys, but also top-firing speakers. Sure, they're a bit small and, as a result, somewhat tinny in the high end, but these speakers beat the vast majority of laptops of this size, normally found with bottom-firing speakers. However, one thing that Google didn't include is biometric login capability. There is no fingerprint sensor, nor is there an iris or face scanner on the Pixelbook Go. Considering that many Chromebooks provide at least one of these solutions at this price point, it's a sore spot for sure. Google tells us that it's relying on its Android phone unlocking feature, but that leaves out anyone not using an Android phone. But, back to positives, the Google Pixelbook Go keyboard is, without a doubt, one of the best we've ever used on a laptop. This is an improvement of Google's Hush design, which brings the company's original, silent Pixelbook keys to this more reasonable price point. We'd say that this is the best combination of silence and forceful feedback that we've ever experienced on a laptop keyboard. Being a Chromebook, you shouldn't expect groundbreaking performance from the Pixelbook Go, particularly with fanless Intel CPUs inside. The Acer Chromebook Spin 713 also features the most up-to-date Wi-Fi 6 standard as well as Bluetooth 5.0, so connecting additional peripherals like a wireless headset is a snap, which is good because the speakers, not the best. For a thinner Chromebook, we were happy to see a decent number of ports, including a USB 3.2 Gen Type-A and a microSD slot, along with two USB Type-C ports with Thunderbolt 4. The webcam and microphone are the standard 720p webcam and microphone setup you'll find on most laptops out there. Hopefully we'll get better webcams one of these days, but probably not until we give up our obsession with razor-thin bezels. Unfortunately, there is no physical camera slide shutter on the webcam, which is always our preferred privacy solution. Speaking of, the bezels on the Chromebook Spin 713 are present, but not horrendous, other than the standard chin on very roughly 99.9% laptop displays in existence, don't quote us on that, and the display was crisp and vibrant. Honestly, it took a 13.5-inch, 1504p display to remind us that Chrome OS actually has a very beautiful and elegant UI interface, and it really shines with the Chromebook Spin 713. The Acer Chromebook Spin 713 is Intel Evo certified, so it must pass certain performance and UX standards set by Intel, like fast startup in about a second, at least a 9-hour battery life, and additional security features. That's all well and good, and it is good, but the star of the show here is the Core i3 or Core i5 processor, depending on your model. Chrome OS can run very well on ARM-based chips, Intel Celeron processors, and other low-power hardware, but it absolutely flies on a full Core i5-1135G7 like the one in the unit we reviewed. What's more, the Chromebook Spin 713 has 8GB RAM and a 256GB PCIe SSD, not eMMC flash memory storage, so it all but pushes you to install and run local apps from the Google Play Store, which the Chromebook Spin 713 simply chews through without so much as a stutter. As for battery life, we saw some mixed results with a couple of outliers that skewed the average of 8 hours and 24 minutes down a bit. The longest the battery lasted for us in our HD movie test was 10 hours 6 minutes, which isn't best-in-class battery life, but it's still a very respectable showing.